Almost as valiant as that wig, I'm Sam.
I didn't know He-Man had a side gig. I'm Jackie.
The Green Knight is what I call what I do to the toilet after St. Paddy's Day. I'm Justin, and this is Sword of the Valiant on Sneaker Madness. Hello, welcome to Sneaker Madness, podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, currently streaming on Amazon Prime from 1984, starring Miles O'Keefe, some lady, Peter Cushing, Sean Connery, the German from Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ronald Lacey.
Yeah, anybody else? Sword of the Valiant.
John Rhys Davies.
John Rhys Davies. How can I forget John Rhys Davies?
John Rhys Davies
plays 20 seconds.
Ron Lacey's dad, even though he's 10 years younger than him.
Nice.
Casting.
Sword of the Valiant. That's what I got. The Tale of Gawain and the Green Knight. An ancient, or maybe not so ancient, I guess, I don't know, poem from some point in time.
Yeah, I think they're thinking it's around the same time as Chaucer that this was written. So this is ex post facto. It's a bit of a morality tale. I have a question at the end for that.
Okay. About King Arthur, his knights. No. I'm really not big into the Arthurian legend. I know the characters. I know most of the stories, but it's just from word of mouth and the grand tradition of storytelling, Sam.
Yeah, this, as I said, they're thinking that this is written around the same time as Chaucer was writing, so this is well removed from the actual Arthurian legend.
Right. Okay. All right.
Did you either one of you watch the new Green Knight movie with Dev Patel as Sir Gawain?
I did not.
No.
Nope. Me neither.
Okay.
I don't think I like the Green Knight business, but yeah, we'll get to that later.
One time I read a book of Arthurian legends, but they were like modern, like written in the last like decade. And one of them was about Merlin and about how his dong didn't work anymore. So like he would do magic. Like he was so uninspired even by magic that it just like didn't do anything for his wiener. But then like at one point, somebody else was doing magic, and it made him get like, oh, he's got a Peter tingle, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
What the fuck is this shit?
Merlin's a magic sexual, a hocus pocus sexual, an abracadoodle.
Yeah,
so dumb. So I'm just not a big Sword in the Stone guy. But Jackie, you like King Arthur?
I don't really care.
Okay, fair. I think that's.
I liked the Disney Sword in the Stone because I liked Mad Madam Mim.
Okay, all right.
And I liked Merlin in the characters, that Disney drew, but then I don't really remember anything else about it.
I liked that one a lot, actually. Blow me to Bermuda. Then he comes back from Bermuda in Bermuda shorts. I thought that was really funny when I was 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Obviously, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's the best Arthurian tale there is.
Yeah. When this
did you notice
movie
the holy
came
hand
out,
grenade in this?
I didn't.
There was a shot of the holy hand grenade that they put up in like his display thing. It's not the holy hand grenade. It's that stupid ball that's got the cross on the top of it that kings walk around and hold. What the hell is that thing called, Jackie?
An orb.
Yeah, what's it do?
It's their symbolization, I believe, of being the head of the church.
So like the scepter is like I'm the king of the town, and then the orb is like I'm God's dude. Because my dad was.
It's a symbolization of how they can have all these riches and all of the people around them are starving.
Right, exactly. He must be a king. He doesn't have any shit on him. Go ahead, Sam. Tell us everything about Sword of the Valiant.
So, this is directed by a man named Stephen Weeks. Stephen Weeks directed 4 feature films.
Okay.
2 of them are Green Knight films.
Like
in 1973, he directed Gawain and the Green Knight.
Oh.
And then he just did this one for canon. I guess they were like, this guy already did one. He'll be good at it.
He already made this movie.
And yeah, he had another movie called I, Monster and another movie called Ghost Story. And then he took like half the cast from this movie and immediately started shooting another movie, which was to be called The Bengal Lancers. Mm-hmm. And after 10 days of shooting, the lab called them back and said, all of the footage is out of focus. Every shot you sent is unusable. We have to... And so they waited around for 5 days for a decision, and the decision was made on the lab end that we just kind of just scrap the picture. And this is despite being shot by Academy Award winning cinematographer Walter Lasalle, and the footage was not a focus. Somebody at the lab wanted to pocket the insurance cash for a failed picture. So they did. There was criminals who pocketed the insurance cash from the bond on the film. The film never got any more than the shooting of the 10 days. Stephen Weeks' career is over. I don't know what happened to Walter Lasalle. I think he did fine or he probably had a real hiccup if it didn't end his career. I should have checked into that. But Technicolor really kind of twisted Weeks' arm to not talk about that ever happening. So there was somebody in Technicolor had an employee that was inside on the job.
Mole.
So yeah, that's like not good. And
that sounds like something that they should make a movie about, like an Adam McKay style movie.
Instead of that, what happened is that they finally, the company was old enough that those who should be sacked had been retired or whatever, and the footage was recovered and remastered, and you can watch the edited bits on YouTube. It's about 27 minutes of footage. You really can't really tell what the movie's going to be about, but at least at some level, justice has been served to Stephen Weeks and Walter Lasalle because they didn't really fuck that up.
Yeah, wasn't that?
It also had Miles O'Keefe in it, and it would have added
that would have fucked it up.
Christopher Lee.
Okay, all right, interesting. Jackie, have you seen the Ators at all? Ator, we're not sure of the pronunciation.
I think I've seen the first one.
Yeah, with the giant spider. You remember that? The spider in the cave that looks terrible. That's the first one. Sword of the Eagle. Flight of the Eagle. Ator, something Eagle. Eagle Man.
Warrior Eagle. Ator the Warrior Eagle.
Warriors of Eagle Town.
We watched it all together right before you guys moved. Probably a couple months before you moved.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Miles O'Keefe was a football star. This is what's weird, is that we've been doing this program for 10 years and we've never done a movie with Miles O'Keefe in it. And we could have done virtually every movie with Miles O'Keefe in it. In fact, I was going to be like, how much Keefe we got in this program? Miles O'Keefe, because next week we're doing Tarzan the Ape Man, but Tarzan the Ape Man is not streaming anywhere for free, and I don't know if... I feel like I'm going to watch it first to make sure people need to pay for it.
He's the Reb Brown of Mark Singers.
If he's got a longer list than both those guys. Like, really? Miles O'Keefe kicked around. I think he's still doing stuff.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And apparently, like, when that joke that I just told Miles O'Keefe was on MST3K, he thought it was so funny, he ordered an episode of the show from him. Like, everybody makes fun of Miles O'Keefe, and he's like, that's really funny, you're right. I love you. I'm a fucking football player. Because he was a fucking football player, and he wasn't just like football player, he's like fucking football guy. So he goes to Air Force Academy and is the halfback.
Okay.
At freshman year. And then he transfers to Mississippi State and bulks up and plays on the O-line. He doesn't like playing that heavy, so he just and he likes playing both ways. So he transfers to a smaller school in the University of the South, where he's an All-American linebacker and tight end.
Okay. Miles O'Keefe.
And he actually did not just play football. He got his degree. He got a double major in psychology and poli-sci. And prior to moving to LA, he ran the recreation for the prison in Tennessee.
So he's
the
like
weightlifting program. I don't think so. He seemed like he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, but he's got his hands in everything. Oh, he's over there now, and now he's shaking hands with the president.
Well, not really. He just like ran the recreation for the penal system, and then decided he wanted to play semi-pro rugby because there was a league starting up.
Now he's playing rugby.
Now he's playing rugby in California, at which point somebody sees him with his shirt off and goes, Tarzan! Mm-hmm. Because then his first movie is Tarzan the Ape Man, which is widely regarded as one of the worst movies ever made, despite the fact that it killed it in the box office. It made $36 million against a $6 million budget, which is really good for, it's like 79 or 81 when that movie was made. Probably 81. This is 83, right?
84.
84? Yeah, 84. So I just find Miles O'Keefe to be interesting, and I look at his filmography and all the movies I remember him being in, and I'm like, how have I never pulled the trigger on a Miles O'Keefe by now? This is crazy.
Yeah. I think we avoided Ator just because it's kind of boring.
It's kind of boring, and also I've avoided it because I don't want to do it without Carl, because Carl loves it so much.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. So
no.
Bummer.
But there's a bunch of other ones that are going to be fine, and whenever Tarzan becomes either free or if I deem it lousy enough to make people pay the $3 for, that one's going to happen.
There you go.
This movie, actually, when it came out, it's funny that you mention the Holy Grail, is Leonard Maltin, I believe, said that the production values of Monty Python and the Holy Grail are lavish by comparison.
Absolutely.
Which is a little unfair because... And maybe he saw it at the theater, and maybe the theatric release never made it onto video. And we watched the pan and scan version here. Mm-hmm. And it's obvious that they shot it in a way that they wanted it to not get pan and scanned, because the credit sequence had to be done in a widescreen. And then when you get to the first shot, it's pan and scan all of a sudden.
Right.
Poland had the only theatric version of the movie for a long time, but I believe you might be able to get it on disc now. I think I read something about, as of 2020, you can get the widescreen version on disc, and it's supposed to be a lot better, but at the same time, it can only be so good.
Yeah, right. Oh, now I can see more of the movie. Take it back. Take it back. I want an aspect ratio of 0 to 0.
Thought they did a really good job with the voiceover voice replacement. Could have been worse, is what I'm saying, because that's not worse. Both the main actress, Cyrielle Claire, who was French, and Miles O'Keefe got replaced by English voice actors. And it could have been a lot worse.
But why? Why, though? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not like
so here's a why.
It's not like he has some wiener voice or anything.
How did Canon get a hold of this? What is going on? They had originally slated, and it was, I guess, right up until shooting, Mark Hamill was supposed to play Gawain, and it came from the top. They teamed up and showed up and were like, no. Menahem and Yoram were personally made sure it was Miles O'Keefe and not Mark Hamill.
Why?
Why though?
There's a lot of why though questions about this
movie.
Okay. Box office draw of, 84, Mark Hamill's, he's doing all the other corny, cheesy movies that aren't making any money, so he's not a draw.
You were ever going to replace somebody with Mark Hamill, it would be right now, not vice versa.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
Jackie, is Miles O'Keefe a hot man?
He's well,
could you see past the wig? Let's start there.
No. I couldn't see past the wig, and like even when he had his shirt off, and I mean he's a fine specimen, but it was that wig, that goddamn wig. It was just so I don't know. He was just so Prince Adam for most of this movie.
It's such a terrible wig because if he just has his normal short hair, he looks a lot like Richard Armitage. And I'm like, oh, that's you've got a really classic look to you. That wig is killing you.
Why do they have to wear wigs in these Swords and Sandals movies? Who said, well, they have to wear wigs? That's just what we do here. Why? Why though?
Why though?
It looks stupid. This is a fantasy movie. It's not like, oh, we're, we want to make sure we're doing historical accuracy in this period piece so that we win an Oscar. No, you have a unicorn in your movie. Get that stupid wig off that guy.
They didn't wear their hair that long.
Right?
It's not historically accurate. It's accurate to pictures of Jesus on people's walls.
Right. No, it's dumb. Don't put the wigs on your characters. They're dumb. Nobody likes them.
This was not Peter Cushing's last film. We've already done Peter Cushing's last film.
Yeah.
Just which recently, was Biggles.
Right? Yeah.
Biggles was Peter Cushing's last film.
Okay. We did, didn't you just a Peter Cushing not very long ago on the show?
I don't think so.
Jackie was like, who's Peter Cushing? I'm like, the guy, yes, technological nightmare you've constructed is... I don't have a very good Peter Cushing. He's amazing. He's awesome. Yeah. Even in this, he's good, and there's no room to be good, and he still somehow is good. His character makes no goddamn sense. I don't know what he does. I don't know the point of him, but he's there, and I like him.
He's apparently such a good actor and such a sterling professional that if you're not him, Christopher Lee treats you like a huge bag of shit.
Right?
It's like, you can't give me Peter Cushing and then give me this lump of actor.
Yeah.
I'm Christopher Lee.
Fucking, he's in there bitch slapping guys like, oh, Jesus, now I can't think of his name. Never mind. It was not a good joke anyways. Insert good actor there and then finish my joke for me. Who else we got? The lady. What's her deal? Claire.
She's a French actress. She was in a bunch of French movies. She's in The Professional that, probably will end up on the show at one point or time. Not the remake with what's-his-face that was called Leon the Professional, which isn't really a remake because it changes far too much. I think it just borrowed the name. Emma Sutton is the Morgan Le Fay character. She's just sort of a Pinewood rounder. Lee Lawson, the guy that plays Humphrey, he's just a Pine Tree rounder. There's a bunch of Pine Tree rounders in it. All the old guys, it's like this is their last film that they make.
Gotcha.
It's kind of fun. There was like in the trivia, it was like the end of it was just Joseph begat Isaac of people's last films. It was like Leviticus of last films in the IMDb trivia. And the thing that I found most interesting about the trivia was that no matter where you looked about this movie, it was like, they got the costumes from such and such, and I found it so completely uninteresting that I didn't even write it down. It's not worth it. But it was true because that's the places that the costumes were provided for in the credits. And I'm like, so we got a couple of different people watching this all the way through the credits to get this juicy tidbit of information that they had to get these shitty costumes from 5 different places.
Okay.
Because the ones for the John Rhys Davies and Ron Lacey's, those costumes are just bad.
Yeah.
The red ones, those are terrible.
They look stupid. They look very stupid.
I thought they were kind of cool looking.
Really?
We're talking about the red and silver knight outfits, right? I thought they were kind of cool.
Okay.
They look like they should be in Krull.
Yeah, or like some dancing
Ator
movie. Like, no. Okay, let's get into this. Ator, he gets a sword and some armor. It's for the king. And he's Squire. He's like, hey, I'm going to go give this to the king. But the problem is that Camelot is a silly place, and nobody is there to do sword and armor stuff anymore. They're just there to eat all the turkey legs and drink all the wine with spilling it all over themselves, and then grabbing a handful of grapes and squishing them while your little hobbit guy sings to you. That's a sad song, and he's like, the king's not even really a king anymore. And then he lights himself on fire. But the king comes in, King Arthur. He's not called King Arthur, but he's King Arthur.
But why?
But why, though?
He's just the king.
The king.
I guess it's so they can fuck this part up and be like, what is your name? And he's like, I'm your nephew, Gawain.
Right? Remember me?
Remember your nephew?
From your sister's vagina? Yeah.
Who rode with you through all of the tales of the Knights of the Round Table? That's your nephew?
You're right down there. Right there. Just in front of us.
Tables are square, so he's just the king because they already fucked up too much of it for him to be King Arthur.
Right. So he's sitting there, he's watching these dudes, his boys, eating up all the food, and he's like, I've had it. And he hits a guy with a potato.
He does.
And he's like, I've had it with you lard butts coming in here, eating up all the damn food, all the pig head, all the, with the apple in its mouth, all the swans. You don't eat swans. Not even you, King Arthur. Get out of here with this swan setup. And guys, go have some adventures. You're all a bunch of pussies now. Stop sitting around my castle and singing about how you have to push the pram a lot.
It just seems to me like they're in a time of peace.
Yeah, no shit.
And he's just bitching because nobody's got a good story.
I'm bored. This party sucks.
Yeah, he's like a 10-year-old. Like, you guys, what has anybody been doing lately?
What you guys do is talk about video games.
I got a blister.
Yeah.
He's a little right. Like, if this was King Arthur, at this time, in times of peace, the knights are just roaming about keeping the peace, which would involve a bit of adventuring.
I don't know. It seems okay to be just hanging out in your castle eating a bunch of food. That's the dream, Sam. That's what we're all living for. All this war and politics, and I'm just a simple man. I just want to sit on the couch and eat food. I don't need to go outside and get on a damn horse and get myself killed.
This king would throw a potato at you.
Yeah, I want some chicken.
Potato
chicken.
They fly better.
So...
Unless you're Geddy Lee, then you can wing a chicken like fucking 60 yards. I've seen it in person.
Okay, weird. Outside, up on the ramparts, the Green Knight is spotted in a cloud of green. He's on his way, and he rides up as the king's still bitching about his knights being a bunch of weenies, and he busts in through the door, and oh my God, it's Sean Connery, and he gets off his horse, and he walks right up to a lady and slaps her right in the face. You're going to need that later. Because otherwise you're going to get lippy. Wait,
he doesn't act, but he does call him a bunch of whores.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
That actually happens.
Sean Connery, I got to make
I know.
Ladies joke every time because I don't want the people to forget that James Bond slaps people in the face that are ladies. Because
you know why he basically only has a cameo in this? Because he's not in this movie hardly at all.
Hardly at all.
Never Say Never Again is shooting down the street. So he just like comes over and does a scene and then goes back to doing that fucking abortion of a bad idea instead.
That's the one with Kim Basinger, right?
Yep. It's the one that's not official because he hadn't been James Bond for like 2 guys now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Alfred P. Broccoli was like, no, I'm not signing off on that.
Yeah, it's the guys that did the Superman movies, I think.
The Richard Donner cut.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, Saltzman. Was it the Saltzmans that did that?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so he's like, all right, I'm also bored, so let's play a game. Here's my axe. I'm going to throw it at this guy. He's dead now.
At a kid. He throws an axe at a kid.
He's dead. I'll take it back, and he's just chucking this fucking axe around. He's like, pretty cool axe, huh? You guys like it sharp? The guy freaking, like, see how sharp it is? And he slices his hand open on it. Not really in the movie, but the way he does it, the only way he would know is his hand would come apart. But anyways, he's like, oh, it's got good weight for it. Maybe these ladies behind you can hold it just like they hold my penis after I slap them in the face because they need it. That's the last time I'm going to do that, I promise. And so then he's like, okay, so the rules of the game are I stand here and you chop my head off. Anything else? Nope, that's it. That's the game. Oh, I get to chop your head off if you fail. This game sucks. But why, though?
But why, though?
King Arthur's like, won't somebody accept his challenge? And they're like, no. Why would I do that? That's dumb.
Yeah, everybody else in the room is thinking, this is obviously a trap.
Yeah.
You know, like,
he's
just looking to kill somebody today.
There's at least 3 people in the room are looking at each other going, is he dressed as a Christmas tree?
Right. He's a fucking psychopath.
He's dressed as a Christmas tree, right? I'm not seeing things.
He's the psychopath rides in here. Hey, he makes a huge mess when he comes in here. Somebody's got to clean up all those leaves now. Thanks, jerk. But you're dressed like a Christmas tree / bejazzled guy, and you're talking about chopping heads off. Why would we play your game? Like, he's like, that's it. All you got to do is chop my head off. Oh, but I get to chop off yours. Wink, wink. If you fail, wink, wink. Like, no, you're going to kill me.
Yeah.
I don't have superpowers.
Yeah. And that's why nobody's jumping up to take this challenge.
King Arthur's like, you guys suck.
Gawain.
Gawain the glove I'm Gawowning.
And he jumps over the table like, I'll do it, your highness.
Who are you? God, we just did this a minute ago. Fucking nephew. So he's like, well, you can't do that because you're just a squire, so I'm going to knight you so that you can get your head lopped off. Okay. Wait, wasn't I already a knight from that whole, like, Holy Grail shit? And, like, you and Guinevere and Lancelot and...
No. You were just a squire.
You just get some square tables and I'm not a knight now? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
I think the king...
It's a way for me to, start closing the ranks on the royal circle here. I mean, you guys cost me a fucking fortune, and all you fuckers do is sit around and eat. I mean, you don't even have any good stories anymore.
You literally were a guy who walked up to a lake, and a lady was like, hey, here's your sword, now you're fucking king. And then that's all you had was this stupid sword of myth that maybe some fucking lake lady gave you, and you're yipping at us. We built your kingdom, butthole. We went out there, we killed the Turks, and the Mongols.
It's the Romans. It was the Romans.
The Romans. Yeah, we killed those guys too. Probably some Vikings. Probably the Zulu tribe. Well, I don't know. We killed a bunch of guys in your name. We gave you England, and now you're saying we can't sit around and retire while eating food? Look at us. That guy's beard over there is like 3 feet long, and it's totally great. You want him to get on a horse? If he gets on a horse, he's gonna fall right off, break a hip, and he's dead. He gets to just sit here and eat turkey legs, you stupid king. Is there a 14th Amendment we can file on this guy? Because King Arthur sucks.
He does suck.
But in his defense, he does knight Gawain.
Gawain.
God, I'm not gonna say it right. Because he's probably thinking to himself, like, look, this kid has been a fucking loser his entire goddamn life. Yeah. I pretty much had to beg to get him the squireship, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to be a knight for too long. Like, everybody else in the room knows.
Maybe like the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, I mean, why not let him die with some dignity?
Well, not really. He's going to just walk over and get his head chopped off because obviously this is a trick. But he does. He walks over there. He's like, okay. And he whacks his head off and the head rolls away. And then it's so bad. It's so bad.
It's bad.
This is the best part of the whole movie is this cheesy, terrible effect, I think, is this head talking. The animatronics, the mouth doesn't even like close when it's talking, it just kind of goes.
It doesn't even look like him.
No, it doesn't.
It's like a dead fish.
Why did
or a fish that's like out of water?
It does. It looks like a dead fish. Like, why didn't they do the thing where the head lands on its stump so that you can put the actor's head through a thing and he can actually do the I'm a severed head bit?
You can do a still shot with mat work that does the exact same thing and he just lays there, right? I mean, there's a bunch of different ways that are cheaper and look better to do it than what they tried here.
Body, come get me. And the body rises and its stump walks over and bumps into a bunch of stuff and like everybody's getting blood all over him and they're like, hey, come on, your head's over there. He goes over and he picks the head up. Well, he actually steps on it first. He does the little thing where you try to pick stuff up but you kick it with your feet. Comedy gold. Headless body picking up its head, can't do it.
Defensive lineman picking up the football and kicking it.
Exactly. Ends up pushing it finally into the fireplace. It's just a comedy of errors. Anyway, so he picks it up, puts it back on his lid, and he's like, "See, I bet you didn't know that it was a trick." And they're like, "Yeah, we totally knew, dude. That's why we didn't want to do it." I'm so sneaky.
This is when I noticed
how disposable head.
Because he gets more close up right here when he's explaining the now secret rules that he didn't really get all the way out the first time.
Uh-huh.
And he's got glitter all over him.
He's very glittery.
I mean,
oh yeah,
it's like he's a Kamen Rider Christmas beetle sprayed with glitter.
Mm-hmm.
This costume is awful.
He's going to Studio 54 after this.
They wouldn't let him in wearing that.
Oh, I bet you they would. They'd look at it and be like, "Hey, we need a weird old. Do we have a weird old man in glitter? Okay, yeah, you're good. Come on in." Actually, we have 3 of them right now. Damn it. These old men with glitter. There are too many of them. Get out of here, you bum. Okay, so he's like, okay, well, now I get to chop your head off. And Gawain's like, oh, no. Not really. He's like, but then the Green Knight looks at him. He's like, oh, you're too young. Clearly, you've never tasted the sweet flower that is female sexy stuff. You gotta get out there and slap some of those. I said I wasn't gonna do it again. Damn it. He's like, you're too young to die. I don't want to kill you. Go live. You get a gap year.
Yeah, and then he tells him a riddle that is not a riddle at all.
He's like, so wait, I'm just gonna wander around for your waiting to die. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, if you can solve this riddle, I won't kill you. Which is. Do we have the riddle?
No, because it was too dumb.
It's too dumb.
It's not a riddle at all. It was just
it's a roadmap to what's going to fucking happen to him over the next year.
Vague. Right. It's a vague set of learning experiences. That is not a riddle.
So that implies that his path is already laid out in front of him, a la destiny or kismet, which means that none of this needs to happen. Like, you already know you're not going to kill this guy. I mean,
sort of, but Morgan Le Fay fucks it up, so there is no destiny. We can at least have that, because
Morgan Le Fay fucks it. Okay. The words are, where life is emptiness, gladness. Where life is darkness, fire. Where life is golden, sorrow. Where life is lost, wisdom. So we'll see if that plays out at all. Anyways, so he's like, okay, cool. I'm out. I'm going to go right around. So he gets this squire named Humphrey and they just leave. He gets the king's armor that I guess was the stuff he got out of the blacksmith at the beginning of the movie, but it's just decorative mostly. It's not good armor. And they're just like, which way do we go? That way. Why? Because.
Why not?
The wind's blowing that way. Let's go there.
This is our plan? Huh. Okay, whatever. I'll follow you,
well,
Humphrey.
In Humphrey's defense, the reason he wants to go that way is because Gawain.
Just remember like Wayne's World and Stacy. Gay Wayne.
Gay Wayne. He stinks.
Yeah.
He smells terrible, right? So he's like, if we go with the wind and I raft right behind you, then the stink goes that way and I don't have to smell your ass crack.
Speaking of ass crack, we got to take a break here, Humphrey, because I'm not immune to the king's wine. I drank a lot of it and my teeth are floating. So can you help me out of my armor? Because I don't have a cock flap.
He does. He's like, hey, how do you go to the bathroom in these things? And he pulls out this fork. It's like a pissing fork. And I'm like, that can't really be a thing, right? So I looked it up.
It's a dick key? Like you unlock the portal for
I'm calling it a pissing fork or a dick flap fork or something. And this guy that does the reenactments on the Quora, he's like, yeah, no, they don't have that. How do you go to the bathroom in armor? And his answer is, you don't. You just put your armor on right before you fight, and relieving yourself is going to be an issue, even in reenactments. The thing is to detach your cusses, then loosen your brays and pull them down with your hosen. Once you are all done, put up your brays and hosen, tie them and reattach your cusses. So, whatever that means.
What if you're like marching?
You don't march in the armor. In fact, the Netflix movie The King is a really good reenactment of how war would actually go, even despite the film being a very strange, like, blend of history and Shakespeare. I really liked that movie a lot, but I don't know why it worked because it shouldn't have. But even in that one, they don't walk around in their fucking armor. They put it on right before they're going to fight.
So what do? Just carry their armor then? And then
no, a guy carries it for them.
That guy could be fighting.
That guy will be fighting with a spear and no armor.
So you just, oh my God damn it.
You don't have very many knights. You got tons of pikemen, tons of archers.
Hey, general of the army, our opposing armies, we saw them on the other side of the hill. Okay. Send them a message that we'll take a timeout to suit up. We need suit up time. That's stupid.
They took timeouts to suit up. They met on the battlefield. Right before they fought, a lot of times the leaders would be like, you know what? These men don't need to die here today. Let's just do this, you and me. That shit happened a lot. And that's kind of actually a good thing.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, if you're
but there was a lot of fucking rules.
Carrying the... Yeah, if you're the poor bastard that's got to carry the armor, you're like, thank God.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't even want to bring this armor. It's stupid. Huh. Okay. Well, anyways, they find a fucking unicorn, and they're like...
It sucks.
It sucks, but it's still a noble creature, Sam. And Gawain's like...
Shoot it!
Now that I pissed all that fucking wine out, I gotta... I'm hungry again. I mean, the king is right. We're gluttons, but man, I'm dying right now. Sir, there's plenty of bread and fruit that I've bought as your squire. No, I want some unicorn.
He doesn't say. He's like, we don't bring anything you're supposed to hunt. You're a fucking knight. So he hunts a unicorn instead.
Sir, how about that chicken? There's a chicken farm right there. Nope. Gotta be a magical fucking unicorn. I'm focused now on unicorn meat. I bet you it's good. Sir, it should taste like horse. No, you said it was magical. So are you implying that magic tastes good, sir?
Either way,
it's so magical, it seasons itself.
Right?
Oh.
Anything you're in the mood for, teriyaki, barbecue, all you have to do is wish real hard, and then the unicorn meat will turn into what you want it to.
Okay. Well, he doesn't kill it because he's a shitty shot, A. And then
it disappears later.
It disappears into glow bubbles. And they're like, well, that's what we get for hunting unicorn. Guess we're still hungry. Should have got those chickens. Gawain. Idiot. So then they find this tent that appears by their horses. Just, hey, was that there before? No, I don't think so. And inside is Morgan Le Fay. We're not going to do the whole food thing. They get some food, whatever. And
they also like, who are you? And he's like, she's my aunt.
She's
the stepsister of King Arthur's, but she's still Gawain's aunt.
Yeah, okay. All right.
They know each other.
Yeah, they know each other. All right. And she's like, oh, gentlemen, well, I fed you, so now I need to get paid. And they're like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I need some stuff. I know about this riddle. And they're like, you know about the riddle? Of course. Here's what you do. I don't know how I'm going to get paid from all this. Like, it seems like somebody's supposed to stay the night with me, but that never happens.
She wants bang pay.
Yeah, but that never happens because she's like, you guys go off to this Leon-esque place. This is place down by the sea. And that's where
I think it was supposed to happen because he's like, well, where's Humphrey going to go when I'm banging you?
Right, but then the next thing is they're on fucking out by...
That bad editing screwed up the bang pay.
So he's porking his aunt. Okay.
Maybe that's why there's bad editing, because they fucked that part up.
Yeah, all right.
Bang Pay could be the next big app.
Okay.
Like, I need a dozen eggs. And then you post up your picture and the meetup spot, and then you get banged, and they give you eggs.
Because eggs are notoriously hard to come by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, they just fall out of chickens' asses. You know? No, Jackie, that's a dumb idea.
Also human trafficking.
Yeah, also human trafficking. Hey, I hear you're looking for some eggs. You guys know where to get some eggs? I got some good poon right over here. I could trade for some eggs. Get these eggs to those eggs.
Would you like some eggs from a minivan that smells like fucking?
Yeah, bang pay. I don't know, Jax. I don't know. I don't think it's a great idea. All right, so they're like, go down. She's like, go down to the Leonis, and it's over by the sea, and blow into this horn. And they're like, then what happens? She's like, you'll see. Wait, this is another thing, like chopping that guy's head off. Why should I trust you? You're doing that giggling wink wink thing. I don't like it.
No.
But they do it. He blows in the horn. Fucking rainbow appears, and they're like, oh, pretty. Do it again. Oh, rainbow. These guys are dorks.
Yeah.
They're still jerking each other off about this fucking rainbow. When up on the hill is a voice. I am the protector of Leonis. I am the Black Knight. He has a weird, it's like almost a robot-y voice. Like it's
very
modulated.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, yeah.
But shitty.
Even though he's just a guy. He has no superpowers. He's just wearing armor. He's not a robot or anything. He's just a guy that hears the horn and is like, oh, to get to town, you got to go through me. Pay the toll in blood. Just like Monty Python. So,
yeah, and he's got a weird, like, thing going on with him, because he's got, like, fish fins on the side of his head.
Mm-hmm. On his helmet.
On the side of his helmet, but then the front of the helmet looks like Chinese.
Because it had a
like
mustache.
That sad-faced dragon.
Yeah. Maybe.
Uh-huh.
And then he, like, I don't know. He just looked like shitty spray-painted garbage that they found and stuck together on a hat and gave it to him to wear.
Yeah. Well, that sucks more because when they fight, it is bad.
It's super bad. And also the whole time, Gawain's like, Humphrey, do everything for me. Humphrey, save me. Humphrey, my hand's stuck. He gets dragged around for a while because his hands he like uses a ball and chain to grab the lance, but then it ends up becoming like a water skiing event where his hand's stuck on it and he only becomes dislodged by hitting a tree.
Because, ball and chains, the one side is a handle. It's just a stick with the ball at the end of it. His hand's stuck. What's it stuck to? The place where you put your hand? There's no way to get it stuck.
They were really shitty gloves.
Let go.
The Black Knight like crushed him. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, this is level 1 armor, dude. It's shit.
So then like it kind of switches to where they both start sucking real hard. Like the Black Knight's sword gets broken in half and he's like, and then they just kind of start tussling and the Black Knight's just repeatedly making this sound. And it's awful. And then it ends with the Black Knight falling on his own dagger.
Yeah.
Like, nice.
And then he's like, you got me. Just go ahead and bring me into town since you did the thing you gotta do. No more tricks, honest. Just bring me into town.
Wink, wink. Wink, wink. Giggle, giggle. All right. Yeah, we'll pack you up and carry you across the country. Meanwhile, Humphrey's gotten fucking lost by falling asleep on his horse.
It couldn't have been that far from where they started from, because he was already there, right?
Humphrey! Fucking Humphrey. It's like, I'm tired, man. I had to fight your battles for you. Then we had to go on that stupid unicorn hunt. I'm tired.
Like, Humphrey, get my sword. Don't leave it on the other side of the field, dickhead. He's just sprinting back and forth on this huge field that horses are running around because this asshole knight's dropping shit on either side of it and then screaming, Humphrey, grab it! Humphrey, help! Fuck, I'm tired.
Humphrey needs a fucking nap. Boss. All right, so sure shit, Leonidas is a trap. He's like, I'm dying and I brought my murderer, kill him. And so he gets chased around a little bit and he's trapped in the portcullis area. And this lady, we find out her name is Linnet. She appears in like this wall crack and she's like, here, take this ring. It's the one ring to rule them all. They won't be able to see you if you put it on. So he does. And that also makes him able to go through the wall.
He escapes dubiously, I'm guessing.
Yeah. She's like, here, okay, now that we're in the secret chamber, allow me to take your clothes off. And he pulls out the key.
Yeah.
Cock key.
She's like, what do we do now? And he's like, I got an idea. She's like, just take it off, stupid. I don't need a fork flap to your dong. Hitting my head against armor, giving you a blowjob. I'm sure you'd enjoy it, but I'm out on that. Just take it off.
He wakes up later at some undescribed point, and Lynette's downstairs talking to her. I don't know their relationship at all. It's almost like cliche. This would be her daughter, but I don't think it is. It's the
not
queen,
because her dad is a different guy who's not dead that we see later. Because she's like, "Dad, help me," and he's like, "Oh,
yeah."
So this is just the Black Knight's wife who runs the town.
Yeah, right.
Who dresses like a giant fly.
She dressed like a giant fly. She's like, we need a new guardian. And the queen of town is like, oh, my husband, he was so amazing. He was such a good fighter and great guardian. How can we ever replace him? And if I ever find the guy that killed him, I'm going to chop his head off because he's an asshole for killing my husband. And then she's like, no, I really think you should do... wait, you're hiding him, aren't you? So she starts strangling Linnet, and then Gawain jumps down. He's like, unhand her. And she's like, oh, fuck my husband. He was a piece of shit. Though. Oh, my. You just excuse me for a minute while I go freshen up. And then I'm going to elect you defender of town and also my vagina.
And when I say defender of my vagina, I mean pulverizer of my vagina.
And he's like, ew. And she leaves, and Gawain and Linnet are like, don't worry, our love will save us. I love you. I love you. And we're like, dude, you met like fucking 2 hours ago, guys. Jesus.
He says love is stronger than magic, and you're like, I've seen some of the magic here. I don't know.
And she's like, I love you too, Gawain. I always have. For those 2 hours?
Yeah.
Wow. What a Jesus, Shakespearean style love you guys have got. So they try to leave, and they're pursued, and they're chased around the castle all over the place. And
they keep going up.
They keep going
rather
up.
than just running out. And then even after the third time that she's been captured and he sort of frees her, she says something like, we can get to the top of the tower. And I'm like, why would you do that? They finally get to the top of the tower, and sure enough...
Damn, dead end.
It's just really high. All you can do is kill yourself.
Work. There's not another way down other than the way you came up. That's literally how towers work.
No, there's a fireman pole in there.
They just slide down. Whee!
Yep.
A big slide.
But I guess it gets the guys tired that are chasing you.
I can't.
Yeah, so that way, you can get down the slide and out.
But that doesn't work because she gets grabbed and she chucks the ring to him and says, goodbye. And he catches it and he gets teleported to the desert, which was not a power that the ring ever had before, but now it does. Teleportation to the desert?
No, because it does a weird cut here, and Sean Connery comes in and starts yelling at Morgan Le Fay.
Right.
And he's like, you're futzing with everything. Like she teleported him or something.
Huh. I thought... I'm so confused. I thought the, rule breaking, the game, you're playing the game and you're futzing with it, was that he got the ring. He wasn't supposed to have the... I don't fucking know.
Later on, one of the guys said you were supposed to leave there with her. So somebody's futzing with something. Destiny doesn't work. Fate is all fucked up in this scenario. And Morgan Le Fay is like, well, whatever, just bang me. And he's like, fuck you. And he turns her into a frog.
Turns her into a newt. Yep. And so then he peers into her crystal ball and he's like, hey, Gawain, you can't have that ring. And Gawain's like, oh, I can't too. It's mine. She gave it to me. Dude. Also, where are you talking to me from? Oh, I'm in a crystal ball. Oh, sorry. I'm in a crystal ball. Looking down on you. And here's my bad breath. Whoa. And he blows breath on him and it makes it all windy. And he's like, haha, now are you going to give up the ring? He's like, no, I'm just going to go over there. Oh, damn it. It's stupid. So he finds some monks that are walking along and they got a friar with them. And the friar's like, hey, did you know that up the road there's like a path that turns off and at the end of it is the Rock of Wisdom? And he's like, oh, cool, I'll do that. But he doesn't. He instead goes out looking for somebody that's never been talked about in this whole movie called the Sage. Who's just like an alchemist.
He's like, no, I'm going to go to the Rock of Sages instead.
Yeah.
Still rolling, still rolling. Rock of Sages.
Sages.
That song sucks.
Rock of Sages.
Stop it. Okay. So he's like, the sage is like, you're out of the game, bud. You got to get back in.
It's like, peace out, then. Bye.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool.
Bye.
I don't have to get my head chopped off. All right, see you later. No. You were supposed to leave with Linnet, so you got to get back in the game. Because I guess if you're not in the game, then you can't be with your lover. Or if you're with your lover, you're back in the game. I don't know the rules of this game. I thought it was just, I chop your head off, you chop my head off. It's like Rochambeau. What the hell, man? I can't keep up. Can we do Monopoly? So, my next note literally is, I literally have no clue what happens here. Because
he teleports him to the tunnel rather than all the way there.
Right. He's in a crypt, and inside the tomb is the Black Knight's armor that reanimates, and he whacks it and it just crumbles. And then Morgan Le Fay's there as a frog, but she's actually made of clay. And
she's a pottery frog. It's like a lawn frog.
Yeah. And then he walks out of this cave and sees this castle. And it's Lyonesse. It's all cobwebbed up. And everybody's frozen. What the hell happened?
Maybe that's how it always is. They were just looking alive that one time when he showed up. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
I have no clue.
It kind of seemed like a reverse Sleeping Beauty. Like he left, and because true love didn't survive together, that it froze everything in place until he came back.
But just in that town?
Yeah.
That's how the rules work?
Because that place is lost. It's lost, Justin. Nobody else can find it.
He found it really easy. He blew on a horn and a guy took him to it. The guy was even, like, there to kill him. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's my job to defend this place, but I'll take you right to it while I'm dying. It's not lost. It's over there. They rode on horses to it, Jackie. They didn't, like, fucking teleport there or anything. They literally rode horses in a fog, and they didn't even get lost to it. It's
only Humphrey got lost because he was sleeping.
He was tired. Yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense. If your theory is correct, and if I lived in that town, and every time somebody wasn't with their spouse or their partner, and we all got froze up in cobweb and turned old and grody, I'd get pretty mad every time I'd wake up. Be like, stop it. Stop going to get groceries in separate cars. You guys need to stay together so that I can actually get some shit done around here.
Okay, have you guys heard of a three-legged race? We're doing this all the time now.
You have your partner, like, what's that? When the kids go on a field trip and they have to pair up, you know, your safety
The buddy
partner.
system?
Yeah, the buddy system. We're on that from now on. So he grabs her and he takes her to a cottage and he puts the ring on her and she gets young and uncrusty and wakes up.
And then they love each other. Yay. And it would be okay. Except for that one thing about her being so good at getting captured.
Oh my God, damn it.
So he's like,
fucking firewood. And
I'm going to go get firewood, just hang out in here. And she's like, okay. And they leave and she just like starts wandering around outside until some passerby is like, oh, that chick's hot. I'm going to steal her.
Right. Oswald. Famed Arthurian villain.
I don't think there's an Oswald in the... I know for certain there's not an Oswald in the... None of this happens in the actual poem, but...
Damn you, Oswald. I found you again.
So Peter Cushing shows up, and Oswald's like, look at that chick. She's stupid hot. I'm going to go take her. She's mine now. And Peter Cushing's like, no, you will not. We'll traffic her. Mm-hmm. Damn it. We can make something on that sweet ass. So... They go over there and she's like, who are you? And they're like, captured. And she's like, oh no, not again.
Every week.
Every 6 minutes with her.
Gawain sees it and he follows them to this castle, their castle. And they're like, how are we going to get in? They're like, there's some guys walking up. We'll just get in with those guys. So they walk up and then Oswald appears at the ramparts and he's like, you men are fighting for me now?
This is what doesn't make sense. They throw a rock to distract two of the guards, but they don't take their armor. They just like get in line.
They
like,
get in line.
Get in line.
Get in that line. Oh, that's the criminal beheadment line. Those guys are all getting executed. Oh shit, what have we done? You don't just get in random lines, especially back then. So they get conscripted or something, and he's downstairs in the basement. He's like, hey, you guys want to help me? And they're like, yes, we'll help you. And so now all these guys that he was in line with, they're now his boys.
That's because they've been captured to become warriors from an army that they were conquered by and don't want to fight for.
They're like, hell yeah. Now he's got dudes. Got a whole cavalcade of dudes. Not just Humphrey anymore. Oh, and Humphrey's there, right?
Humphrey's with him.
Yeah. Humphrey's back. Hey, Humphrey. How you doing?
There's a bunch of nothing that happens until training is happening.
Yeah.
And he's kind of playing possum a little bit with the training. But then Oswald's like, hey, you, stupid face, I hate you. You suck at everything. I'm going to show you how to use a sword. And so he really just kicks the shit out of Oswald. And he's like, you're too good at fighting. Go to the dungeon.
Dungeon guy now.
And I think she says his name.
Right.
Like, Gawain. And he's like,
I'm up here.
Oh, Linnet, I love you. And he's like, you can't love her. She's mine. Even though I can't have her because Peter Cushing said no.
He's put on the rack. and he's gonna get tortured, but in comes the Baron, and he's like, "Ah, damn it, my dad's here. I can't torture you. Gotta go say hi, see what's up. I'll be back later."
And this is my favorite part, not the disembodied head. When Jonathan Rhys-Davies is reenacting his battles in front of everyone with little stand-up guys, and he's like, and I was like, yeah, die, motherfuckers, die, and there was a bunch of guys over here, and I was like, ew, in the face, you're dead. It is fucking weird.
He's a loony. It reminds me of Francis from Pee-wee's.
Yeah.
He's like playing in the bathtub with his knights. It's not for sale, Francis.
But then his son comes in and he's like, "Not now, I'm playing."
Yeah.
That was my favorite line in the whole movie. "Not now, I'm playing."
So weird. So Gawain's put in a cell, and the friar's there, and the friar has an escape plan. It's the Shawshank Redemption plan right here. Just tunnel out through poop, and then the Baron and Oswald are having dinner, and in comes this guy who I guess is their rival, who I think just minutes ago the Baron was saying he chopped off his arms, and he walks in, and he's like, "You didn't chop off his arms, Dad. They're right there. You lied to me." Nobody says that.
And this guy's barely this is actually a guy that's in the Green Knight poem that doesn't play a very big role in the. I'll spoiler alert afterwards to actually who he is when we get into the movie.
Lord Bartrick or something like that is his name. And the boys are downstairs. They bonked their guard with a bucket. That guy went down pretty easy. And they're meeting up with Gawain, who's now escaped all the way. And except for Humphrey gets in a fight with the blacksmith, and Gawain has to save his ass, and it takes forever.
Their blacksmith are their finest warriors.
Apparently.
But then they burn down the whole thing. They burn the whole motherfucker to the ground. Yeah.
And upstairs, these guys, the two rivals, are at each other's throats, and Jonathan Rhys-Davies is like, "I'm going to kill you." And then Peter Cushing's like, "Oh, how about we don't have any murder today? How about instead I give you unsausaged,
an unsausaged tart
for your pleasure." "Oh, we can avoid war by trading ladies." "Oh, okay. That sounds nice." Oswald's like, "Dude! Aw!" Dang it.
So he gets pissed drunk and goes up there to rape her, then falls down and then lights shit on fire.
And
the door's wide open, and Gawain's like, "No, not my love." And they cut the rope, and even though he's holding onto the cage of the window, he just falls in the moat anyway.
Right.
And then she's like, "I guess I'm just going to die in here rather than walk out that door."
Stand in fire. So he's all sad now. And he's given up on life. He's like, "I'm just going to wander around." And the men are like, "Should we go after him?" And Humphrey's like, "No, let him go."
Let him go.
He's gotta be poopy for a little while.
Because we'll find out later that they're so near to him when he decides to retake up his quest that ultimately what happened is he made it about 10 feet from the camp. Just going, and tripped and fell down and cried himself to sleep. And then woke up and they were already actually outside of a castle, and he just sort of fucking wanders, gains access to it.
Yeah, he finds this castle and he's like, "I demand to see the lord of the castle." Well, the lord is Prince Betterdick, whatever, but Humperdinck from the rival guy that got Linnet. Bertilac, yeah, there we go.
Bertilac is a main player in the actual story.
Yeah, come on in, man. You can hang out. You can rest up. It's cool. Chill. I've got turkey legs. I know you love them. I don't have any unicorn meat because I'm not a fucking disgusting pig. But yeah, I got turkey legs, and you take a bath, hang out, do whatever knights do when they're not jousting. But also go to church first, I guess, because they go to church, and he sees Linnet there, And he's like, oh.
Is she kissing his piss fork?
She kissed something. Was it his piss fork?
I think it was his piss fork.
I thought it was a cross.
Okay.
Okay. So she meets up with him later, and she's like, so, yeah, Better Dick, he saved me from that room. He was like, hey, just walk through this door. And she's like, my hero. And now she loves him. Even though this was like yesterday.
She's like, it's sort of like the love of a brother and sister. She's being very coy about this. Like, you can't really tell what's happening here.
But then she's kind of looks also like, look, we had a good run there for those 2 days.
Right.
But you have nothing to fucking offer me. You are such a jackass that you fell down the hill and cried yourself to sleep, and we could all see you outside of the tower window.
Hey, Linnet, isn't that your boyfriend down there crying? God damn it.
Yeah. And you're just kind of a fucking embarrassment.
Such a
so,
bitch.
you know, this guy fucking saved me from a fire. And look at the house he's got.
Yeah, he's got stuff.
This guy's got it together. Yeah. You, on the other hand, it was nice knowing you.
Poof. I'm going to stay here. I decided to stay. He's like, so he's hanging out there for I don't know how fucking long. Believe it or not, this movie almost takes place over it does take place over an entire year, even though it seems like maybe a week or so that all these events transpire.
It's because they cut out all the walking around.
Yeah.
And there was still plenty of walking around.
So it's Green Night Day, and he's like, I've got to go to the Green Chapel and get my head lopped off now, so see ya. She's like, I didn't figure out the riddle. Take my sash. And she throws this green sash to him.
She figures out the third part of the riddle for him.
Oh?
In gold sadness, because the room that he's in is gold and he's sad. It's not a riddle to begin with.
Damn it.
Yeah. And, you know, at this point, she's thinking, okay, I bid my time. He's going to die today. And then I can happily ever after with this
Better Dick
Lord here. Yeah, with Better Dick.
Yeah. So he rides out. The boys are there. And they're like, hey, man, we'll go with you to Green Night Day. And the Oswald, though, rides up. And Oswald's got gross face now because he also walked out the door instead of being on fire. And he's like, you and I have unfinished business, sir. Excuse me.
He wasn't even gonna. This is bonus. Like, he's coming for Linnet. And he's like, shit, that guy's still alive.
Yeah.
I want to fucking kill him now. Yeah. I hate you.
You bested me at swords, so now I'm going to fight you again. But no, I'm not going to fight you again. I'm going to send a champion out for jousting. Crap, my champion lost in jousting. Wait, I get two champions. It's not how this works, dude.
No. Eventually they end up having open battle where most of his new men are killed by arrows.
Well, we got to mention that the second champion goes down because he's like, Casper, shoot him in the back. And Casper shoots his old man in the back.
Yeah, wrong one.
God damn it, Casper.
Casper. God damn it, Casper. So then there's open battle. Half of the guys go down by arrows. And Humphrey is a fucking killing machine. Humphrey kills like 20 guys in this fight.
Man, I should have let you do this.
He's probably like 4-1 on Gawain this whole time.
And then Gawain and Oswald fight, and he's got him pinned down. He's got Oswald pinned down, and Oswald's like, Casper, shoot him. And Peter Cushing's like, stay, Casper.
This is great because he's like, it's only gonna have one fight today, make it be a fair one. And then Casper just, like, the guy playing Casper, like, Casper's character in this world is like, yeah, whatever. And he just wanders out of the shot like, I don't even want to be here, man. It just wanders out of the shot.
Casper, like, you don't want Casper on your team. If Casper's your man, you're in trouble. Because, Casper, help me. Oh, Casper, you've shot me. God damn it. Casper sucks. But he's awesome. So, Oswald's dead. The Green Knight rides up. And Gawain's like, I didn't solve the last line of the riddle. And he's like, yeah, clearly the wisdom thing you didn't solve because it's not a fucking riddle, you fucking moron. So I'm going to chop your head off. And the boys, they're all like, yeah, man, you're the best, Gawain. We love you. Good luck. Thanks for everything. And he rides off with the Green Knight to his ruined castle thing that he lives in, I guess. Because
better known as a cave.
Yeah, it had structure to it. It was built at one point. Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's his place. That's where he lives. And Gawain puts his head on the log, and he's about to get his head chopped off, and he flinches. And the Green Knight's like, "Hey, man, I didn't flinch when you did it." And he's like, "Dude, sorry, man. I'm under a lot of stress right now. I'm about to get my head chopped off. Could you cut me some slack?" He's like, "Okay, I'll chop your head off this time. Just hold still, God." So he swings, and I don't know what happens.
He cuts the sash off of that Linnet gave him.
So he missed?
On purpose.
Why?
To teach him the wisdom part of it.
Well, that was a stupid idea.
Well, he's not supposed to kill him here. At this point, you're like, "Oh, thanks for not killing me. I learned a valuable lesson." They shake hands and he leaves. Instead, he's like, now I'm not under any obligations not to kill you, fucker. Right, and he fucking stabs him in the stomach. And you're like, that's not what you do here.
No, there was no teaching this guy wisdom. Let's be realistic about that one.
The Green Knight turns all glittery and implodes.
Deflates.
Yeah. Okay. So then Gawain's like, "Well, that's done. I'll go back, I guess. I don't know where I'm going." He's riding along the beach, and Linnet shows up, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm taking off." And then she literally fucking takes off.
She turns into a bird.
Which was the best, because when Justin and I were watching this section, right? And she's like, "Put your hand on my cheek." And then she raises up her arms, right? And she looks up into the sky. And Justin's like, she's going to turn into a boom. The bird scene happens. He's like, "Oh my God, I called it."
Yeah. She was a fucking bird lady. And then the camera pans in on Gawain, and he's just like, "Wait, I was in love with the bird lady this whole time?"
Freeze frame credits.
So the movie ends. Him not like learning the wisdom and solving the riddle that doesn't exist. It's literally, "So that was Sweet D, huh? I'll be goddamn. Bird lady." Fuck. Didn't know that. The whole time. She was a fucking bird. Oh, man. Every time I tell you, I've got an interesting idiom that I live. I go outside, I see these ladies, and I'm just drawn to them. And every time they're a fucking animal of some sort. Last week it was the fox lady. 2 weeks ago, one turned into a turtle. Like, I don't know how I liked her, but always.
Well, and Morgana Lafayette or whatever, she turned into a newt.
Yeah. Which is my first question. Is Morgan Le Fay still a goddamn frog?
She shouldn't be.
She get better?
Because she's really the only super wizard in these tales, but...
Yeah, so she's just, like... Man. Whew. I think she's still a frog in the movie world. The only person who can unturn her into a frog was the Green Knight, who has frog turning people into magic. Maybe the Green Knight turned her into a bird with his I don't know. I don't know. This movie is baffling.
Yeah. Which brings me to my first question. Did they miss the point of the entire Green Knight tale?
I'm not totally sure what the point of the Green Knight tale is. But
I will tell you that.
Added a lot of things that didn't. It's not.
That didn't need to be there. So in The Green Knight, what happens is very much like at the beginning, King Arthur's bitching about everybody being soft. And the Green Knight comes in and he does the beheading game. Mm-hmm. And if you win, you get to keep the axe. Mm. So Gawain cuts his head off and he just like wanders out. Says he's going to be, and he doesn't, he comes in and he said, you can cut off my head, but if I get a chance, I will cut your head off in 1 year and 1 day. Okay. And he just walks out, basically. I don't even think he picks his head up. I think they actually
going to leave that there.
Yeah. So there's some wandering about and there is some minor adventuring, but basically what happens is that at the end of the year, Gawain goes to Bertilac's castle, which is outside of the Green Temple or whatever the fuck it's called. Mm-hmm. It's only a couple hours away. Okay. And he stays there for the last few days of the last year of his life as he sees it. And I believe Linnet is Bertilac's wife. And what happens is Bertilac makes him another strange deal. Where it's like, you can stay here, but I'm going to go hunting every day. And if I give you what I kill hunting, you have to give me whatever you got that day. And so Bertilac leaves, and Linnet immediately tries to seduce Gawain, who doesn't go for it. So she kisses him, and then when Bertilac gets back, he's like, here's this deer. And he's like, what'd you get today? And he kisses him. This goes on for a few days. It culminates where she kisses him each time, and he's kissing Bertilac each time. And finally, the day before he has to go to the Green Temple or whatever the fuck it is, Linnet's like, you didn't bang me or whatever, but I don't want you to die. So she gives him a magic green sash, which is probably not magic at all. And so he goes to face the Green Knight, and the Green Knight, instead of cutting his head off, just nicks the back of his neck and gives him a small wound. And he's like, I wouldn't have even given you the small wound, except you didn't tell me that my wife gave you that sash yesterday. Oh. Because Bertilac is the Green Knight, and Morgan Le Fay turns him into a magical superpower knight with powers of illusion and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so he feels really bad, and he's like, oh my God, I wasn't honest with you. And he's like, you're like 99% more honest than anybody, and you just kept something that thought it was going to keep you alive. Your quality is fine, sir. And he sends him back to Camelot with the sash. Uh-huh. And then all of the knights in Camelot now wear a green sash to remind themselves to tell the truth. Oh. That's what the Green Knight is about. Okay. They fucking missed that boat.
Yeah, no, there's none of that here. You can tell me the moral of this story. I'll give you a trophy, because I got nothing. Bird lady. Like,
the moral of the story is, ladies, the story is for you. Don't pass up the better dick, okay? He-Man might be looking good with his cheap-ass armor, but nothing really compares to a stable home life and a kind heart.
A kind heart. Bertilac, kind-hearted man. Huh. Yeah, no, they didn't get anywhere near that, Sam. I do like the kisses thing, though. I think that's kind of fun. Like, I wonder, when Bertilac came home and he's like, here's a cow. What'd you give me? Like maybe day 2 you would have been like, okay, all right, no more kisses, please, I'm good. Like, just come here, give me a kiss. Nope, it's got to be on the lips. Mm-hmm. So who's giving you these kisses?
The only other person here.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
not a well thought out story either way. But Jackie, you got any questions?
Nope.
Okay.
I have one more.
Okay.
from the get-go and this movie, I was like, this music is bad.
Oh, it's really
And it
bad.
just got worse. Is this the worst music that we've had in a movie?
Can't be, but it's pretty bad.
It doesn't fit what's going on, and it's just mashing on a keyboard sometimes.
It tries to, it's like the gallant adventure cliche music, but it just stinks. Over and over and over again.
It's done by Ron Giesen, who's like a collaborator with Roger Waters on scores, and it's terrible. Like, I don't think he really did it. It's so bad.
Yeah. They got one of those sampler CDs. Just used the gallant track over and over again.
They got a Casio and let a cat roll around on it.
All right, final recommendations. Jackie, you go first.
It's a do not.
Okay.
The He-Man hair was too much for me. The music, Sam is absolutely right. It was disoriented. I had no idea what the fuck was going on for most of it. And by the time I put it all together, there was like 5 minutes left of the movie.
Yeah. Okay, Sam?
I don't know what to do here because it's such a hot pile of shit. It is such a piece of shit that I'm glad that I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't know that I would make somebody else watch it.
Right, right.
This is really just for bad movie completionists. If you haven't seen this one, it's a turd.
It's a turd. I'm with both of you guys. I can't in good conscience. It's kind of boring, and it is just a pile of movie and a lot of just like word salad dialogue. And it's a little bit too long as well. Like, I was kind of surprised that it was an hour and 49 minutes. Like, if they'd got it down to like $1.50, or I mean, not $1.50, $1.30, it probably would have been manageable. Like, if they'd take 20 minutes off of this thing of just general dialogue and the whole Oswald thing that doesn't need to happen at all, it might have been fun and stupid enough to enjoy, because it's really bad and it's really stupid. And I can't believe Sean Connery ever signed up for it. And then I look at his filmography and I'm like, oh, yes, I can.
Oh, yeah, because he was doing something probably worse than this across the street at the exact same time.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, don't. And I mean, but kind of do. Like, if you're curious, go for it. But it's in the advanced class.
If you haven't done any Miles O'Keefe yet, I would not start with this one.
Yeah.
I would start with Ator or the SAS. His Secret Agent one is really good. They're all right around this time.
Okay. Next week is Sam's pick. You got anything lined up?
Yes, I do.
Don't know
it's going to be on Freevee.
Okay.
And it's called Repo Jake.
Repo Jake.
With the guy that plays Grizzly Adams. This is the first time that this has been streaming. I've wanted to see this movie for about 10 years, maybe 15.
Okay.
It's really hard to find. It's on Freevee, allegedly, so we're going to do it, and I bet it's going to suck.
Okay, Repo Jake next week. Enjoy your week, guys, and get to the chopper.